as in Mason, along on his journey as he picked himself up from the shock of that diagnosis, and then he went looking for answers.
I guess what I'm most apprehensive about would be if I can't hear well enough to really enjoy the act of making music.
One of the greatest songwriters of our time now struggles to hear his own music on stage.
My voice feels like it's over there.
In the past few years, Paul Simon has had dramatic hearing loss.
There's only about 6% in my left ear.
At soundcheck for a rare concert recently,
Just a tiny bit more guitar in the
side?
on the sides.
he had to make adjustments.
I've got a speaker here.
Yeah.
I've got one here, and I've got one coming from here. And when the balance is right, I can hear well.
How long did it take you to work this out?
It took a while. We just made this change to larger speakers.
He's also had to change how and what he plays.
I'm going through my repertoire and reducing a lot of the choices that I make to acoustic versions. It's all much quieter. It's not, you can call me Al. That's gone. I can't do that one.
What's it been like for you to make these adjustments?
Intonation is not as good.
I mean, just kind of emotionally.
It was incredibly frustrating. I was very angry at first that this had happened.
Doctors at first told him there was nothing they could do. But then Simon heard about a project in Palo Alto.
I'll be using a microscope to take a look in your ears.
At the Stanford Initiative to Cure Hearing Loss,
So I'm putting a speculum in your ear.
Dr. Konstantina Stankovic is leading a team of more than 100 scientists.
You're looking at cochlea now?
No, we cannot
can't
see
get with
the
that.
no.
The anatomy of the ear is still mysterious.
Hearing bones are the smallest bones in the body, and then they are connected to the inner ear, which is called the cochlea, and it looks like a snail.
Roughly the size of Lincoln's forehead on a penny, the cochlea is fragile. Doctors have no way to biopsy it without causing deafness.
Because it's so tiny, it's hidden in this hardest bone in the body. It's located deep in the skull.
Some animals are able to correct their own hearing problem.
Yes, absolutely. We actually have the same genetic machinery. It's just turned off in people. And the key question is, how do you turn it on?
Yeah.
And how do you turn it on safely? Because cancer is regeneration gone awry.
That's what they're researching at Stanford.
This is our nursery over here.
This is your nursery? In her lab, geneticist Teresa Nicholson showed us how she's been studying zebrafish. Is there some similarity in their hearing to ours in some way?
Oh, yes. Yes. So their inner ear is very much like our inner ear, the part that we use for balance. Just tap on the dish. See that?
Oh my God.
That's the acoustic startle reflex.
With a simple experiment, she compares them with zebrafish that have hearing loss mutations.
You see some that are just laying
Yeah.
on their sides?
over there,
Yeah.
But they've made a recent discovery.
And we can rescue hearing with an FDA-approved drug.
Wow.
These mutants that never reacted to sound before, tapping on the dish, they react. And we're totally excited about this.
Right.
And perhaps it can be,
Used.
Used for humans.
Yes, absolutely.
Down the hall at Stanford,
With this microscope, we can go up to about 80,000 frames per second.
biophysicist Tony Ritchie is experimenting with hair cells from mice. It's the hairs in the ear called cilia that transmit sound to the brain.
This is one hair cell.
Wow.
We pushed here. This is the electrical response we get. So this is what the hair cell is sensing.
What do you learn by studying this?
So the hair bundle is the site of where most damage happens.
Yeah.
So with aging, with noise, we are trying to understand how the bundle, like it's a machine, right? So how this machine works normally, so then when we know what parts are getting broken, we can figure out how do we fix it or how do we replace it.
This is cool.
Surgeon and scientist Dr. Alan Chang is using gene therapy to coax the damaged hair cells in mice to regenerate.
You guys are the first to see this.
He's also studying human cochlea samples from organ donors.
We're the only place in the world that can do it, in fact.
Well, the team was surprised to find damaged human hair cells do begin to regenerate partially.
Is that regeneration?
This is without drugs. So we see that human can actually start the process of regeneration before we put drugs in.
Now, they need to find out whether the drug cocktail they've used in mice could work in humans.
My mom, who has hearing loss, she's been asking me, when can we regenerate cells for her?
That's what I've been asking ever since I met you guys.
We're working on it.
When we were done, Paul Simon put back his hearing aids. Stanford hadn't offered any easy answers, but Simon said his visit here
Gives me hope that there is some significant improvement on the horizon. Said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls.
for now, as he showed at the Soho Sessions in New York.
And whispered in the sound of silence.
He has adapted.
You know, Matisse, when he was suffering at the end of his life, when he was just in bed, he envisioned all these cutouts and had a great creative period. So I don't think creativity stops with disability. So far, I haven't experienced that.
Yeah.
And I hope not to.